So, with Clement, I'm Moses.
My name is Ramon.
I'm Shelby.
This week we started talking about attitudes and how can we use that to our convenience, right?
Right. So the first thing we were supposed to do was to define attitude
And the book definition of attitude is an enduring organization of motivational, emotional, perceptual, and cognitive processes with respect to some aspect of your environment. And we talked about it with the professor in advance, and attitudes are like pretty simple. In the beginning of this class, we talked about the ABC, which was affective, behaviors, and cognitive. And they all like really relate to each other. We talked about this earlier.
Those were the three components. That's the next question. The three components of attitudes, the ones that you just mentioned: the feelings, the self-talk, the comment, and the changing body, right? The actions.
change in body actions.
And today we're just going to talk about how we can use like this knowledge to change the actions of and attitudes of our consumers.
And how changing your attitude can make you more successful in life. So, in the book, it talks about ELM, which is Elaboration Likelihood Model. And ELM is basically a theory about how attitudes are formed and changed under varying conditions and involvement. So, basically, it just takes an individual, a certain individual, because no two individuals are alike, a certain situation, and then marketing factors, and it uses all three of those to understand how attitudes are formed and how they work, basically, and understand them.
Next question was, why do people resist change? I think because it's when people feel comfortable about certain things they've been doing over and over. They don't just want to change. Like, for example, if you use the same shampoo to wash your hair for years, you feel comfortable with it because you keep using it, it's working. But when something like stops working or that changes, that's when you change your attitude towards stuff.
So then we discussed how framing is important to gaining the right attitude, and we learned that framing means setting the stage. So it's any details or how you describe what the stage is framing the situation. So framing the situation helps set the stage to get the right message across, and then therefore if you get the right message across, you get the right attitude, you create the right attitude.
Framing is how you set your mind to reset your mindset towards certain situations. How do you react to them?
And there were a couple of appeals, and these appeals were humor and fear. If you just look at like normal commercials, if we would like advertise a comedy store or comedy club, whatever, you'll try to do that with humor. We'll try to gain like customers by using humor.
Right.
We just talked about Halloween Horror Nights, which is obviously Halloween. It's like it's the intention to be like scary.
People come there to be scared.
They come there to be scared. So you want to like appeal them with fear.
Did we talk about characteristics?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's good. So, some of the characteristics of humans that may influence attitude change. There's lots of, almost every characteristic in a human can change your attitude, influence your attitude to change. So, confidence and tone are definitely can change your attitude. If you go in super confident, and you have a confident attitude, like Mr. Weber just talked about in his car before he goes and does something like a speaking engagement, that he like dances around and acts crazy just to get like the nerves out. Also, negativity and positivity. If you have a confidence about you and you have a confident attitude, then you're gonna have a positive attitude. Obviously, scared and nervous goes with negative attitude. Credibility and power.
This is mainly for like an advertising standpoint. the source credibility is someone that you can like trust. So if you would pick a celebrity like Nelson Mandela, anyone that we see as like being really trustworthy, or Michael Jordan even, they will have like a really big influence on your company as if that's like your spokesperson. Source power is more the owner of the company that has more like influence directly into the company, which doesn't really have like a lot to do with advertising.
So we were given a problem, and then we were told to solve it. And the problem is to devise a strategy to change the attitude of professors who are reluctant to use technology in the classroom.
We could do this by teaching the professor how to like use this kind of technology, because probably the main reason that they don't use it is just that because they're not like familiar with it. And the moment they like realize that it's easier, they will like will be more likely to act.
I think one way of approaching that problem would be they show them how efficient the use of technology might be in their classes. For example, instead of writing everything down, have to erase from the board and write more down. They can use PowerPoint and have more time to cover more subjects in the class, and how students are more likely to respond better to like a video showing a video in class instead of just lecturing all class long. Make it more interactive with the students. How would they respond better to the use of technology, and how it could be simple to use? It's not that really that hard. Like teach the professor the basics of how to use technology towards their class, and how efficient could that be?
I like that because like you would like just reading the assignment. It like gets to the point that you like think about how to like affect the teacher. But if you can show the teacher how much like benefit it has for the students as well, because we will interact more because we're more familiar with it. So if you can like get the message across to the teacher, they will be more than likely to maybe change their attitudes about this.